We started this video kind of like in a jokey mood, but the longer that I go and the more I get into it, the more serious this is, and the more serious that I realize we are under attack. All of us, we are under attack. I trust Kash Patel to tell us if it is real. No, I don't. I trust Kash Patel for sure would not tell us if this is real. Okay. For a multitude of reasons. All right, Jesse on Fire. Welcome back. So lots of information to cover on this Candace Owens situation, which is apparently the number one trending topic in the United States, certainly, or at least on my X, dude. It is all anyone is talking about, and there's a lot to cover. I mean, listen, dude, who would have thought that if you accuse a sitting president of a NATO country of paying to have you assassinated, that would cause a lot of stir on the internet? I mean, it just seems crazy. Like, I figured that would just kind of go right through the news cycle and no one would cover it. It's funny because that is basically exactly what is happening in the mainstream media, right? If I go to any of these mainstream narrative, like mainstream places, like none of them are covering this, okay? That should be very telling to people, okay? That would be the front page of every single outlet if the number one podcast, political podcaster in the world on the left was like, hey, they came up, they're like, Russia paid to have me killed. Okay, that would literally be the biggest story ever. Especially if they sent that information to the U.S. government like Candace did, okay? But nonetheless, obviously there's a lot more going on with this story than just that. So we're going to look at what she's saying. We're going to look at how people are reacting, and we're going to go like that. Now check this out. This is on Candace's story where Gabrielle Cuccia, that sounds wrong. It's like, Gabrielle, what's your last name? She's all Cuccia. You're all, really? Yes, it's pronounced Sukiya. It's like, that's a little better because that must have been rough to grow up with. You know what I mean? Anyway, but that actually, she's probably married last name. What are we talking about? Nothing. She said, waiting for the FBI to give us the details about Candace as fast as they could about Tyler Robinson. I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's fair, I guess. But given the lack of information related to both things, that's kind of like a hard thing to say. It's like, all right, well, that's true, but we don't know what the details are of how Candace came upon this information. We don't know anything. Like, there's nothing solid on the Tyler Robinson thing, except that people told us that the dad, turned in the son, and the trans furry who somehow has disappeared and never been seen ever again says that he has text messages, whatever. It's like not a whole lot of visibility on that case. And I thought we had it surrounded. Oh, but don't worry. I've also got some bonus stuff for you guys as we get through this thing. So stick around. Okay. I'm going to tell you about the French Legionnaires that may have been involved in Charlie's, because if it ends up being French Legionnaires, okay, if that ends up being true, it ends up being Israel, the assassins from over there, French Legionnaires. Okay, I would consider that the extreme side of conspiracy, right? Like, if that ends up being what happened, I'm literally just going to be like, but anybody who thinks that's impossible is out of their mind, dude. Okay, if everybody is missing this, we live in the world that the conspiracy theorists said we did. Okay, now there's of course degrees of conspiracy theorists. I'm not talking about people who are like, the Germans went to the moon and found out that there were alien bases there, and that's why no one goes back. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about secret societies. I'm talking about the stuff that has essentially been proven to be true lately. If you think it's impossible that the French president and the wife, whatever, put a hit, if you think that's impossible that they put a hit on Candace, you're out of your mind. You can't have it both ways. You can't be like, oh, this is a conspiracy of the government over here, and this is a conspiracy of the government over here, but then you're like, oh, I don't like her. So it's like, oh, it's total nonsense. You're like, all right, like, oh, it's nonsense. She has the number one show in the world, and she uses her platform to just torch all these people who are literally the most powerful people in the world. There's nothing they can do about it. You think it's impossible that they would try to whack her out? Come on, dude. Okay, now we're going to get into all of that in a second, but first I got to show you a sponsor of this video, Raycon, and my daughter is in this spot. She is the reason that Raycon keeps on hiring me, because she's so cute and I put her in every single one of these. So sit back, relax, enjoy. It's going to be a good ad, and then we're going to get into it. Hey, guess who the sponsor of this video is? Raycon. Keep your ears open and your holiday playlist rolling with Raycon's bone conduction headphones. They're great for staying alert on a jog or just kicking back. And for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, you can save up to 30% on all Raycon audio products. Georgia, what do you love most about these headphones?
Raycon's bone conduction headphones use off-ear audio.
So they send sound through vibrations through your bones?
Your ears stay open to the world around you.
Wow, so I can both take my calls and listen to you guys at the same time. Georgia, I let you listen to these. How would you describe the music and movies that you were listening to?
Crystal clear.
Wow. Georgia, would you say that these are built for all-day use?
13-hour battery life.
Is it true that they're IP68 waterproof and dustproof from sweat, rain, and even sandy beaches?
Yes, the no bud fit doesn't slip.
That's right. Here's the kicker. Raycon gives you premium performance without the premium price tag. The quality rivals the big audio brands, but at half the cost. Plus, over 3 million customers already love Raycon, and they come with a 30-day happiness guarantee. Now, you guys already know, I never promote any products that I don't use. I was using these right before I started filming this. These aren't even, I didn't even do this as a prop. Now, Black Friday is around the corner. Raycon audio products are up to 30% off site-wide. From everyday essentials to the latest releases, it's the perfect time to upgrade your sound or get ahead on gifting. So go ahead and click the description box or go to buyraycon.com/JesseOnFireBC to get up to 30% off Raycon's Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale. All right, thanks for sticking with us, and now we're going to get into the video. Okay, so Joy Reid, illegal. God, I want to do this story first so bad. But I've realized, okay, if you click on a video for Candace and I give you Joy Reid first, a lot of people get upset. So I will just tell you that that video that I just showed you of Joy Reid is absolutely hilarious, okay? Absolutely hilarious. Oh, and if you want to throw your boy a bone who works really hard and is trying to get back in good graces with the algorithm, you could like this video and you could go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I really appreciate you guys doing that. All right, so Candace has thrown this up and she says our show will be off air this week. As an update, both the White House and our counterterrorism agencies have confirmed receipt of what I reported publicly. Emmanuel Macron attempted to organize my assassination per a source close to the first couple. Also, I will again state that the French Legionnaires were involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, but they did not act alone. For all of you who doubted my claims, you can now look to the President of the United States and our intelligence communities to issue a statement to confirm whether I am telling the truth. So here's the thing about that, okay? This is the really important part about that. There is no possible way that she would put this up on X if she did not hand information over to the president and the authorities. Now, the authorities would be Kash Patel, okay? Something to think about, right? Okay, so if you don't hear anything from the authorities, you have to keep in mind, right? Like, do you think that there are no repercussions when you make enemies out of people who are in very powerful positions? No, there are, for sure. Okay, so even if this ends up being real, like let's say I'm going to give you a hypothetical, okay? So let's say that the source is someone in the inner circle. They reach out to Candace and they're like, look, I can show you this money trail. Here is this, here is this, here is this, whether it's true or not, right? And so she turns that over to, she can get to Trump has her cell phone. She can get to the president, she can get to whoever. She turns that stuff over. They look at it and they go, oh wow, this is credible. Okay, well, who's going to decide whether they want to make this a classified investigation or not, or who decides whether they want to say anything publicly? Highly likely that it's going to be Kash Patel is going to be heavily involved and other people who think that she has been torching their Tyler Robinson investigation or other things, okay? Like, do you think that these guys don't take that personally? I'm not saying she's done anything wrong. I'm just saying everybody watching this, if you think that because you don't hear anything publicly where no one comes out and publicly confirms it, yep, they really did that means that this is not real, you're out of your mind. Matter of fact, even outside of the fact that it would be up to people who probably do not like her very much to report it, you also have to consider what would you do in that situation, okay? Like, do you think there are not massive global implications if this is true? Okay, there's no way we're going to hear about this. Okay, I just want to, like, honestly, if you really think this through, there's no possible way that the U.S. government is going to publicly confirm or deny this. It's impossible. Like, they won't. They're not going, unless they deny it. Okay, so Candace may have painted herself into a corner here Because again, and she didn't do anything wrong. Think about it. Like, let's just, again, I'm operating under the assumption that her information is real and that she handed that over, because this would be ludicrous if she did not have real info and hand it over. Okay. But if the information's real, right? Like, you really think that there's no consideration to NATO relations, right? There's no hey, what happens if we lose France in our allyship and then they end up going to XYZ whatever, right? Like, if France leaves NATO or something and then France, turncoats and goes and joins Russia and China in the global economic war, they go join BRICS, okay? France has nukes. You can't lose France in this right now. They would be a, I don't know, what's like a foothold in the European Union. I don't even know if they would even be allowed to do that. They might even have to leave the European Union. This is my point that I'm getting to when you think about this in terms of global strategy, okay? There is a massive, enormous, not even measurable incentive for Russian spies, for Chinese spies, for, our intelligence enemies to concoct this and feed it to Candace, okay? Massive incentive. And this is something that I've been realizing lately. Every single one of these stories, when you look into it and you're like, who benefits from this? Is that because honestly, that is how you should assess every single conspiracy theory, all of them, every single one. Who benefits? Okay? Because no one goes through the amount of effort that it would take to fake a moon landing or shoot Charlie Kirk or kill JFK or fill in the blank things that you think are global conspiracies. No one's going to do all that if there isn't a stated objective that someone benefits from, okay? And when you back into all of these things, you really back into like all of them. Charlie Kirk, okay? What's the outcome? The outcome is a weakened United States, because you have the left, they're out celebrating, yada, yada. Now, obviously, it took 20 years and years of propaganda to get the sides so divided they would do that. But, the country's divided. You get a country where you can have a guy who would literally say openly he wants the opposing party to get killed, their children die, and he still can get elected, okay? This is all connected. You have Candace, who has the biggest voice in the world, and they know, listen, dude, she has a reason to be paranoid. If we can get her speaking more negatively about the Middle East country that we know is an American ally, and also get them to believe that maybe France, they're not just suing, they might want to have her killed. And they feed her that information. She puts that out there. What's the outcome? It turns the American public against that country and that country, okay? And it might even turn France so hard against us that they might even try to leave the Union or leave NATO or start talking to them or whatever. Like, all of these things, every single thing that's happening is good for our enemies and bad for us. Everything. Okay. Now, does that mean that this is not real? Of course not. They absolutely could be real. All of it could be real. I'm just saying the connective thing that I keep noticing is everything's bad for us. Everything is bad for us as a country. Like, being cohesive is good. If you get convinced that your neighbor is your enemy, okay, like your neighbor, not your country neighbor, okay, not Canada. I mean, Canada obviously is no good for us to be our enemy either, but I'm just saying, like, the other Americans are your enemy. No, they're not, okay? We're not enemies. Everything that leads to us going after each other, or the two sides, like, I just read this thing this morning on X about how the deep state basically tried to pull off a soft coup with January 6th, as well as all of the stuff related to the Dominion stuff and how they were able to attack the Dominion computers in Siberia or whatever right before the 2024, like all this stuff. I mean, I have no idea if it's true, but this is all stuff that our enemies want. They want a weak country. They want a weak government. They want a population that hates each other. They want us to not trust the government. They want all of this. This is how empires fall. All of it. Okay. Anyway, but as far as this is concerned, she says that the French Foreign Legion was involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, but they did not act alone. Okay. So I would love to see the information on that, because again, that sounds so ludicrous to me that I am leaning towards very, very high level intelligence posing as French insiders. They might actually be French insiders who are actually double agents of Russia or something like that. Who knows, dude? Okay. Like, people think of Candace as like a podcaster. She's not a podcaster, man. Okay. Like, she is, but she is a megaphone. Okay. People like, I said she had the number, like, I don't know, a video I did the other day. They're like, I was like, yeah, she's the number one show in the world. And people were like, she only had the number one show for 1 week. I'm like, semantics, man. Being the number one show is irrelevant. I'm talking about what she represents in terms of her ability to influence people, right? If the goal is to divide the population and you can convince her that there's a threat against her and it's coming from these two major strategic allies of our country, and she believes that she's going to put it out there, what does that do? It weakens all of us. Okay? Again, but what's she supposed to do? Someone gives her that information. Why would she not believe it? You have these motherfuckers like taking her to court because she repeated already researched information from France, and she's talking about foreign politicians, and they're suing her for defamation here. Never once in the entire lawsuit I've heard actually stated that Brigitte is born a female. They actually they use some kind of like funky language to like talk around that. But it's like, I mean, so someone, literally, you want to know why I'm doing this video right this second? I was going to do a different video. Someone in my comments was like, just like, I did a video this morning about the Akash and his wife situation because I can't help it. I love covering stuff like that, dude. And they're like, Jesse, what are you doing? What is this? And I was like, huh? And they're like, why aren't you talking about the Candace situation? I need to know what you think. So whoever commented that, you did it. That's why I'm doing this video now. I would have covered it tomorrow, you know. But like, you want my thoughts? These are my honest thoughts. I have no idea whether it's real. I could see it being totally real. I could see it not being real. I think that the end result is bad for us no matter what. Okay? Bad. And do I trust Kash Patel? Okay? Do I trust Kash Patel to tell us if it is real? No, I don't. I trust Kash Patel for sure would not tell us if this is real. Okay? For a multitude of reasons. A, he hates Candace. B, you can't just come out and go, yep, the French president tried to have one of the most prominent voices in your country murdered, and they conspired with international hit teams. You can't say that publicly, okay? Everybody needs to understand that, because if you don't hear anything, that doesn't mean she's wrong. All right, so now let's get into the fun, more fun part at least, and let's just watch, let's just see how people are reacting to this, then we'll do Joy Reid. Okay. Candace, receipt simply means someone opened an email or logged an online report. It does not confirm your claim, your source, or your interpretation. That is not how intelligence verification works, and you know it. I love when I see someone talk to her like that, and then she responds. I'm like, oh man, she's gonna fucking eat this bitch. She's like, hey, why are you explaining English to me like I'm not a native speaker? I said what I meant. They confirmed receipt of my claims. Obviously, they will have to investigate it and then inform the public as to whether or not I made it up, which I did not. Yeah. Okay. I've gone through this lately, actually. Okay. Maybe at some point I will be able to tell you one of the craziest things that's ever happened in my entire life. Certainly top 3. Okay. But I still cannot talk about it. But I will be able to at some point, and it is a wild tale, man. Okay. But nonetheless, yeah, you know, you turn it in, you don't really know what happens to it. Somebody will tell you like, oh, this went to this person. And you're like, damn. I mean, at least for me, you know, like I don't have fucking access like her. It's like, that's all right. Well, at least we know it's going to get looked at by, you know, top brass, right? Okay. So Trump and Charlie warned you. You didn't listen. Now your kids are in danger and everyone has to bail you out. What on earth are you stupid? Who is this? Okay. Who is this? What are you talking about? What on earth are you talking about? Because Trump asked her to stop talking about the Brigitte thing, and Charlie told her, I don't remember I don't even know what she's referencing, maybe something with that country in the Middle East that I don't want to say out loud. Like, oh, okay, so then it's cool if Candace, you know, used her First Amendment right and kept talking, then it's cool for them to put a hit out on an American citizen. Hey, this makes perfect sense, dude. You definitely have the moral high ground here, sweetheart. Okay, wherever that chick just went. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Oh, now we have to bail you out. They told you not to talk about Brigitte Macron's she-ness. Shut up. Okay. I see a lot of people dismissing the assassination talk because you don't like her. Where's that believe all women talk? If she stakes her reputation on it, then let's be a little bit objective. Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know about the believe all women thing, but I don't think you're talking to the crowd you think you are, okay? I don't think you like this is not like the leftists for the most part. Although there's probably some. There she is. Trump and Charlie warned you. Now your kids are in danger. Everyone has to bail you out. You're like, hey, her kids are in danger. American children. You think you're in a good spot. You're all, oh, now we have to bail you out. You're like, you're good with that? Oh, you're good with that, huh? You're not like me. Like me, dude. You're not like me. Every single time I think about people choosing sides of international people over Americans, that's the song that pops into my head every single time. 50 Cent. From his original breakout hit. That's actually from Guess Who's Back, for those of you who are in the know. So like his original album before the Dre one. Okay, now let's go. Oh, hey, why would you go off air? She's like, I'm going in hiding, motherfucker. Okay. So check this out. Oh, of course. Here we go. Again, these are your claims without proof or evidence shared. We don't believe you unless the police and White House can corroborate your claims. We don't believe you considering you're a well-documented liar. Well, this is his, this guy is calling other people out for taking the 7K. That's kind of interesting. So what are you talking about? Is this guy a leftist or something? I don't get it. You got Charlie. Oh, is this like a TPUSA guy? I'm very confused here. Very confused. But either way, okay, if you want to call her a documented liar, why don't you produce those receipts, bruh? Produce those receipts. Okay, check this out. So this guy, neocon Ian Carroll, wants you to go die for Candace Owens. Who? Ian Carroll, supporting war. Ian Carroll, supporting war. Really? Okay? Like, I only just became buddies with him recently. I watched him before. I've never heard him support anyone dying for anything. And if you watch him with, talking to us when he's on our show, that's basically the exact opposite of his position on everything. Okay. And so Ian Carroll said, boom, your move, American government. Are we still a country or are we just a satellite state? Ian's genuinely friends with Candace Owens. Oh, he supported his friend. Wow. Yeah. So this is him, Ian Carroll. Idiots. And then so Ian said, oh gosh, how will I ever recover from this? He said, seek professional help and you should be okay. Ian's like, man, they just don't make Israeli propaganda artists like they used to anymore. Yeah. Is this real? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's do Joy Reid real quick though, because this is absolutely priceless, dude. Okay, we'll get through as much of this as I can. All right, before I just bang my head against the wall.
Vance has a problem in that the base of MAGA is fundamentally racist. Yeah. And I know people don't like it when you say it, but it's the emergence from the Tea Party to MAGA.
Yeah.
Tea Party, when you finally did the actual data, PRRI and others, the thing that most motivated them was race and hatred of non-white immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
Hatred of non-white immigrants. That's what we're going with. Hatred of non-white immigrants is what she's going to run with. Show me that poll. Show me that poll. That is so demented and so horseshit. I literally can't, dude.
What most motivates MAGA? Hatred of non-white immigrants. Yeah. They're obsessed with non-white immigrants and undocumented people. They use the term illegals, which is just the N-word for brown people.
Oh, it is? Illegals is the N-word for brown people. That's interesting. I would push back on that a little bit. I think I'm actually going to go live and talk about this. I've changed my mind.